Xavian.
Welcome to the Table of Men for this week on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's number one family radio station. We welcome you to our conversation for this evening. Great evening. Thank you for joining us on the program today. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo, and on the Table of Men, we bring in real-life, thought-provoking issues surrounding, our gender. This is the Table of Men. So call a man, call your brother, your friends, your relatives. Tell them to join the show on 89.3 FM as we talk about real life issues. And as a team, together with your contribution, we also prefer solution to some of these real life issues. On the Table of Men, we, source for real life situation, both from our radio listeners and also our social media viewers. And at the same time, we delve into some of the critical issues that make the rounds on social media. We bring them to the front burner. We talk about it as a family radio station. It is very important for us to have this kind of program just to ensure that we give, fair attention in programming to the men. My name is Ayo. Once again, welcome to the show. Today on the Table of Men, we will be diving into a question that has sparked debate in homes, community groups, churches, circles of friends, and even therapy. And that question is, what do men really want? What do men really want? Love or respect? What do men really want? Is it love? Is it respect? Is it the warmth of affection? Is it emotional connection and being cared for that makes a man thrive? Or is it the deep need to be honored, valued, and respected that keeps him grounded? Does a man stay where he feels loved or where he feels respected, or both sides of the same coin? This isn't just about right or wrong, but it's about understanding what really speaks to the heart of a man. So, gentlemen and ladies also listening to the Table of Men this evening, let's put this on the table in the studio and on the table right, in your own comfort zone right there. Let's unpack it. Let's talk about it. And most importantly, let's be honest, about this conversation. What does a man truly want? Is it love? Is it respect? And to a man listening to the show right now, what exactly do you want? If you ask me, and I know that you must have seen it on social media, where people say, especially from women, that men do not even know what they want. They say a lot of men are confused. You don't know what you want. And hence the reason why we see, some men jumping from one place to another because they don't know what they want. And of course, to streamline that, into something smaller, to compress it to something smaller, there are two options here. What exactly does he want? Is it love or respect? And that question again is, does a man stay where he feels loved or where he feels respected? Or are both sides of the same coin? Do you stay where you feel loved, where you feel respected? Again, it is very important on this program maybe to define love. As love has since metamorphosed into different definition across different areas. People now compress love and fit it into whatever they think is best for them. So what is love to you? What is respect? And what do you want? There's this story, on social media where, a disagreement between a man and his wife, and the man says, "Woman, you don't respect me." And the woman said, "What do you call respect? I think I show you all the love. I show you all the support. I show you everything. So if you come and say you do not respect me, then what do you want?" And then he started listing things. When you serve me, you don't kneel down before serving me. When you want to talk, you talk at me in public. When I'm talking in public, I believe that you should keep quiet when I'm talking and let me be the man, and all of that. And the woman is like, "Come on, but I show you love, and I believe that is, I don't know what you call respect." So for men, what exactly is respect? Is respect your wife kneeling down to serve you food? Is respect your wife reducing herself so you can be there? Is respect your wife keeping quiet when you're talking? Is respect basically being in total control? Again, I know total control can also be relative, but in this context, kneeling down to serve me food, not speaking when I am talking in public, and so on and so forth. Is this respect for a man? What is respect for you? We're going to be, unpacking all of this together into one show. When it is time, we will open the, phone line so you can join the conversation today on the program. We're live on our Facebook page, which means you can watch us on Facebook, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page on Facebook. And I believe we're also streaming live on YouTube, so you can watch us live on YouTube also. You can watch the show again if you missed any part of this on our YouTube page, and stream us live from anywhere in the world on our website, wellsradio893.com. We'll be right back. What exactly do men want? Love, respect. The elderly gentleman joins me in the studio this evening, and together, and I'm glad that you are the one on the show today, really. So we can, unpack all of this together and break it down. Which shocking, if you ask me, elderly gentleman, that in 2025, this is still on the table, but it's okay. Some are passing out, some are just come. The other day you shared with me, and I think it's even on the show, that there are 3 people in this life. Can you remember again? And I think it's very connected to this. Some people are passing out, some people are like inside students, and some people are just about to enter, And I think that this just fits into, as maybe for a lot of single people, you are not quite sure. I know she should respect me, she should love me. And in between, you're not even sure what you want, really. But let me start with this question. Do you think men truly know what they want? I know a lot of women say this thing, but I started by saying, let's be very honest with ourselves. Do you think men know what they want? As I've been at maybe in 2 or 3 situations where conflict resolution between a couple, it feels like the woman actually knows what she wants.
But the man doesn't know.
But the man is just jumping from one issue to the other, from one issue to the other, from one issue to the other. And that's, at some point, I'm just like, hello, sir, I'm not sure you know what you want yourself, because this woman just made herself clear. Can you do the same for yourself? Do men truly know what they want?
Yeah, when you talk of men, there are categories.
Okay.
You understand? If there are some men who really understand what they want, and there are some who don't. You understand? So, when you say men, do they really know what they want? A lot of them, some know what they want, some don't. And that's why marriage is not for boys. And when you talk of men, it's not that somebody has 6 packs and he has some hairs on his chin, and you think he's the man. No. A man is somebody who is emotionally stable. You understand? In knowing full well that there are certain things that are expected of you as a man. Now, we are looking at, you said something about kneeling down before serving food, being quiet when the man is talking. I think a man who is asking for all these things is a man who has low self-esteem. Yeah, to me, is a man who actually does not know what he wants. Because what is the purpose of kneeling down before giving you food?
Before you giving you food.
If he doesn't kneel down, will the food not go down?
But do you know that culturally...
You leave culture now.
No, I mean, we're still a product of our culture.
Yes, but,
so we cannot totally...
Culture evolves.
Culture.
We can't be... These are things we don't expect. In fact, I had a story of a young man, maybe in his late 30s. He will come back around 11 or 10 in the night and tell the wife that he wants to eat pounded yam. The wife should go to the kitchen. What is the meaning of all this? Are you married to a slave? You understand? We should understand that there are certain things in culture that we should not hold on to again. What is the purpose of a woman kneeling down to give you food? What's the meaning of that? No, I want to understand. What does it mean that the food will not go down well if it doesn't kneel down?
That's why I said culturally, especially in this, if you are Yoruba, for instance, you are raised as a man to prostrate. And then you are also, as a woman, you are raised to also kneel as a sign of respect, either to your elder or someone that you reference. And so let me take you to, say, the Yoruba traditional wedding, for instance. You see that the woman at some point would have to kneel for the husband, on that day. And that automatically is a signature to, kneel down for, you see a lot of, kneel down for your husband and all of that. So culturally, African boys, are raised to be strong. Does this then make them lean more towards that respect part? I don't want to, yes, it might not sound fine to a 21st century man like myself, but if a man is asking for that, is it entirely out of place?
Well, no, if a man is asking for kneeling down, no, I want to understand. I'm not a Yoruba person. My own culture.
I can understand
why.
Yes,
my own culture, we don't kneel down. You understand? We don't. But what is the meaning of kneeling? If a woman kneels down 10 times a day and doesn't respect you, what does that mean? He kneels down for you. Anytime you talk, he will kneel down. If you wake up, he will kneel down. And yet, inside of her, she hates you.
She's standing.
She's standing. She's standing inside, but kneeling down for you. What does that mean? I think there are certain things we should do away with. The most important thing is transparency in marriage. If it is not possible to respect what you don't love, it's not possible. And it is not possible also to love deeply in the real sense of love without offering respect. So if a man actually is eating kneeling down, if a man is eating kneeling down is his food. A woman who wants to keep her home, we give her that food of kneeling down. But to me, kneeling down or not kneeling down, to me, is not respect. Culturally, where I come from, whether you kneel down, in fact, I would prefer you don't kneel down for me, but tell me the truth. You understand? Kneeling down may outwardly show a sign of respect, but it may not be respect. Because you demand it, it will give it to you. Maybe it is to kneel down. I will kneel down for you. But deep inside her, she's standing. And she doesn't even have respect for you. Ayo, I think it's better for people to really understand what works for them. Because when you tell a woman to be quiet when you are talking, I don't subscribe to that. She has her own opinion. You are not a monument of knowledge.
Right.
No. And such men always get it wrong. Because a woman, look, Ayo, men look, women see. They are not the same. A woman has I don't know how God created them. They are highly intelligent. Highly. If a woman tells you something, don't go this way, she has seen something you may not see, even if you climb an iroko tree as a man. So, I sympathize with men who don't listen to their wives. I don't know how God wired them, but once a woman is pointing at something, check that in. There is an element of truth in what that woman is saying, no matter the caliber of woman she is. I don't know how they respond to things, but if a man who has low self-esteem is a man who will be demanding that keep quiet. If I'm talking, you should not be talking. Who are you? That if you are I cannot talk in my own house. No, you should not shun her. You should not shut her off because she has something to contribute. That's why both of you are together. If you want a slave, then you shouldn't have gone to get married. You should have gone to buy a slave and bring home. That as soon as you come down, he will kneel down before you. After kneeling down, if he's talking, he will keep quiet. Then no. To me, it's no go area. a woman has a voice, and she has her own contribution to make. She has her own wisdom. So if you are shutting her down, I don't think that man will go far.
You know, in marriage, and still around this same discussion, which should come first? And we're looking at this from the worldview of a man, or how a lot of men reason. Is it respect or love? From what you have noticed, especially from African men, do you think African men truly bother about
love?
Oh, she loves me?
No, African men bother more about love, about respect. They love respect. They will love to be worshipped. That ego is there. Oh, I'm a man. You understand? My friends will come in. They see my wife running up and down to serve them. And if I talk, hey, come. Have you the woman will bow down? You know, they love such things. But to me, respect is good, but I think love is more important. Yes, love is, and I think both of them go together. They go together. You can't have, except it's not true love. True love, we respect. We respect the object of love, unless it is not true love. But if it is true love, they go together with respect. Because you can't love what you don't respect, and you can't respect what you don't love. That is the thing. For the good book said, "For God so loved the world that He gave." Now, God even has respect for man because He gave us free will to choose. That is it. You choose. You choose what you want. Yes, He didn't create us to be robots. That's the respect. Otherwise, He had the opportunity to make us robots so that we will only be doing what is good to Him. No, He didn't create us that way. So I don't think any man who is a real man will demand that a woman be kneeling down in the name of culture, keeping quiet when the husband is talking, or even hiding behind the door. What is the meaning of all this? No. I don't.
Let me open the phone lines so we can, hear from other men and even women, really, because again, this whole conversation started from the woman. That men do not know what they want. What do you want? Is it love that you want or respect? And I'll get to the point where we then have to begin to divide issues to, take one. Is it entirely impossible not to give both, where you now get to a point where you're like, okay.
No, we have to define what is actually respect.
What is actually respect?
And what is love?
What is love? We're going to get together. So let me open the phone lines. 0916 893 1000 0916 893 1000 or 0915 3334 893 0916 893 1000 or 0915 3334 893. You can call any of the lines and let's have your own contribution. What do you think a man truly wants? Is it love or respect that a man truly wants? And just the question you asked the other time, Chukwemeka. So let's bring in some definition here of what love is
and respect,
and of what love is and what respect is. All right. I'm trying to dig out something very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to start with love here. It says an intense feeling or deep affection. Another says a great interest and pleasure in something. And the third one, a person or thing that's the noun part of it. A deep feeling of affection for someone. And I want to go with that.
Deep feeling of affection.
Yes, the deep feeling of affection for someone or something. That love and also to respect. A feeling of deep admiration for someone or something by their abilities, qualities, or achievement. That's one. The second one says, due regard for the feelings, wishes, or rights of others. That's another one. Oh, a particular aspect, point, or detail. All right. So we go for due regard for the feelings, wishes, or rights.
Then how do you separate it?
Because they look very similar, actually. They are very similar. But just that maybe in practical terms, when you then bring them to action, they may not necessarily be similar, in this issue. But it's a big one, and it's still on the table. And I would like to hear from men, really. What does being loved mean to you as a man? What do you think being loved actually mean? Is being loved also... I mean, the definition already gives us a total package.
Deep feeling.
that
Of
I mean, when
affection.
you love someone, you probably will respect.
You
them.
respect the person.
But as a man, what does being truly loved? What does it mean to you?
What does it mean by the? I don't understand being truly loved. Is the being truly? Yeah, being because being truly loved may not mean the same thing to everybody. And we know we have our love languages
and
are
that's
not the
the
same.
issue here, because for some people, the love language might be their respect.
The respect. That's what I'm saying. You understand? Our love languages are not the same. So somebody his love language may be even coming back home. As soon as the man comes back home, the wife will give her a peck. That's the man's love language. The man loves that. But to another man, it may even be that the food is on the table, waiting for him. You understand? So you cannot truly say the love languages are not the same because we are not the same. We are wired differently. But there's no way, I maintain my standard, there's no way you will love without giving respect. And there's no way you will respect somebody truly without loving that person.
Let me take this comment. This one says, men don't always say it, but the way you speak to them respond to their leadership and the value of their roles. That's how they interpret love through respect. So this is saying that for men, the only way a man can actually interpret love is respect. So if you don't show the man respect,
you feel you don't love him.
It feels like you don't love him. Another comment here says, even in the scripture, it didn't say wives love your husbands. It said respect them. That alone speaks volume about what the male soul long for. If you look at that scripture, it is a man that is to love the wife.
Does the wife to show?
Does that explain all of this issue?
It does.
That respect is what a man needs.
Yeah, a man needs respect, and respect cannot come without love. They're interwoven. It's not possible to respect what you don't love. It's not possible unless it is not real true respect.
This one said you can buy him gifts, serve him meals, say I love you daily, but if you disrespect him in front of people or talk to him like a child, all of it loses its meaning.
Yes.
Let's come to the new age lovers.
Okay.
All right. And you see, I know I've seen some adults who say, see the way the lady is talking to her husband, and the man do not really see that as an issue. And that's why I see that society also contributes to some of this boiling conversation that we see every day, especially when people now bring them to social media. You see families now calling the man to say, see the way your wife was talking to you. And the man may not even see it at the time. And that will then now, spark reaction and bring up other issue. Let's talk about the role the society may also have contributed to this, say, disparity, we call it.
Let me tell you something.
Between love and respect.
Any young man who enters into the institution of marriage and is looking at society, I don't think that person will really enjoy his life. Society will never, you understand? What works for you will not work for another person. Society will always shout, but deep down, who are those in society? That's why social media is a republic of drama. You see all manner of things there, and if you take it home, you ruin your marriage. People will come out and say, see the way this woman, if my wife should talk to me like that, I will when he goes home, the wife even talk worse to him, even worse, and yet he will not do anything. So I don't think people should bring their marriage to the social media. No. Because it is you and your wife at home. It is when you bring it to the social media, it becomes an issue. Both of you have your love languages, and it is both of you that will define how you roll in that marriage.
And what works for you.
And what works for you. Because what works for you may not be working for another person. So don't compare. Because I have seen a situation where I visited a couple. The man was doing something in the kitchen, and the wife was there bringing something for him, and both of them were there. Some people who have this mindset of culture all the time will be asking, what are you doing in the kitchen? What are you doing in the kitchen? But they are there enjoying themselves, cooking together. So somebody will come in there and say, oh boy, so you are the one now cooking for your wife.
And your wife is
watching TV. The man, he loves cooking. So why should somebody come to scatter their marriage? I don't believe in that. What works for you, let it. As far as it makes you happy, keep it. Both of you should keep it. Don't bring it to the social media, and don't bring. That's why I keep telling women, don't report to your husband to his people. Don't.
What about when issues come?
No, don't report to your husband to his people. They will forgive him, but they will not forgive you.
And let's stay with that for a moment. Marriage can be challenging.
It's always, it's always challenging.
Especially, of course, two different people coming together from different backgrounds. So it's bound to happen.
Yes.
However, again, I know that in counseling they tell you things like there must be an accountable figure in your life. So someone figure. That your spouse, authority figure, I beg your pardon, that someone your spouse respects so much that when the chips are down, if you call the person, that person can at least speak sense into their head and things can align. What if that person is your family member?
If he's a family member,
yes.
I will always advise it should not be a family member. You know why? When you report your husband to his people, you have created something in the minds of those people. There must always be. It's better somebody that is not even related to both families. You understand? So it is better. It's not good to be somebody within the family, because at the end of the day, there's no way they will not let the cat out of the bag. It's not fair.
I have a question here. And I want us to look at this. I mean, since we said something about faith, I think someone also sent a comment that said something about faith. And that's why this is coming up. The Bible says, husbands, love your wives. Wives, respect your husbands. Why do you think the scripture made that distinction?
Because both of them are together. Love and respect are together. Love your wives. Respect your husband.
So the wife should love. The man should.
No, the man should love the wife. The wife should give respect.
The wife should give, so she should not give love.
No. You're the one now writing the Bible.
I mean, I'm just trying to interpret this comment, so we can get angles. But I'm trying to interpret, because the question now is, why do you think the scripture made that disparity?
No, he said, husbands, love your wives. Wives, respect
your husband.
So who comes first?
So the wife should love.
The man should love.
Yes, the man should love, and the wife should
show respect.
Yeah.
But is it possible to show love to what does not respect you?
Oh well.
Yeah, it is possible.
It is possible.
Yes, but it is possible.
But even culturally, sometimes, and that's why we see a lot of, is it psychophantasy we call it? It's all over the place. You see people, hailing you. It feels like they love you, they respect. I don't want to say the word love. It feels like they respect you so much, but deep down, it's not true.
It's not true. It's not true. They just want to get something out of you.
Let me open the phone lines and we take a break. When we come back, we look at other angles to the story, and we would like to hear from you. What exactly do you want as a man? Is it love? Is it respect? And what do you call love, really? Is love waking you up with breakfast, cleaning your shoes, kneeling down to serve you food, assisting you when you need financial support, emotionally, spiritually, whichever? And what do you call respect too? Is respect keeping short? Is respect being how do I call it now? Being more than a wife, but I don't know. What do you call respect as a man, and what do you call love? Let's trash this out today and talk about it together. You can join us live on Facebook and drop your comment for us on our Facebook page. And also you can call in right now into the studio on 0911 333 893. Again, 0911 333 893. And also 0916 893 1000. 0916 893 1000. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, we talk more. It's still the Table of Men. Stay with us.
Efile Emma Yukuro, Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Nibe Gongon Lewa.
Give your child the gift of excellence at Juniors International School, Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Are you searching for a school where top quality education meets care, love, and safety? A school where skilled professionals ignite young minds in an environment that stimulates learning, creativity, and moral growth? Do you desire a school that offers rich academic curricula designed to prepare your child for local and international examinations, opening doors to future success both within and outside Nigeria? At Juniors International School, we don't just educate, we discover and nurture each child's unique aptitude while molding them into highly productive global citizens driven by godly principles. Join us on the journey of raising tomorrow's leaders. Admission test into pre-nursery to year 5 holds on Friday, 1st August 2025. Venue, Juniors International School, Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Time, 9 a.m. Admission forms are available online at www.juniorsinternationalschool.com or at the school premises. Juniors International School, Center of Excellence.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Xavier.
Welcome back to the program, The Table of Men on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's #1 family radio station. Thank you for joining us on the program for today. You can join the conversation right on our social media platforms. There you can drop your comment for us on Facebook, and you can be sure that we will surely read out your comment right here in the studio. You can also send us a message on our WhatsApp line right in the studio now, 0915 4999 893. WhatsApp 0915 4999. That's 999 893. Or call us right into the studio so we pick your call and then share your thought with us. What do you think? What does a man need exactly? Is it love or respect? 0916 893 1000, 0915 334 893, or 0911 3333 893. Kí lọkùnrin fẹ́ gangan? Ṣé ìfẹ́ ni àbí kán bọ̀wọ̀ fún wọn? Ọ̀nà méjì ni. Kí ni ọkùnrin fẹ́ gangan? Ṣé ìfẹ́ àbí kí obìnrin bọ̀wọ̀ fún wọn? Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan ló ti ń lọ lórí ẹ̀rọ social media lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí nípa kí lọkùnrin fẹ́ gangan, ṣé ìfẹ́ lọkùnrin fẹ́ àbí kéèyàn bọ̀wọ̀ fún wọn. Àwọn obìnrin sọ pé ìfẹ́ ó ní gbogbo kinní inú, ìbọ̀wọ̀ fún yàn àti gbogbo ẹ̀ wà nínú ìfẹ́, ṣùgbọ́n ọkùnrin mi à sọ pé mi like bóbìnrin yẹn ṣe kò bọ̀wọ̀ fún mi tó, ẹ wò bó ṣe fún mi lóúnjẹ, ẹ wò bó ṣe ṣe, ẹ wò bó ṣe kí mi, ẹ wò bó ṣe ṣe àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. And so that's why we're bringing it up on the show today. What exactly does a man want? Is it respect or love? Share your thought with us. And ladies, let me put out this question for ladies. Which one would, hurt you more? Being unloved or being disrespected? It feels like women do not really bother so much.
No, they bother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do.
On respect.
They are human beings. Yeah.
I mean, I know that women are more of a... maybe I say lovebird, if I may say it.
But you don't need to disrespect them. Yeah, they too bother about respect. You should respect your wife. You should offer. A woman has a position in the family, and that position will not be must be honored. You understand? You respect your wife, especially not even when people come, even before your family members. You have to respect. And let me tell you something: the way you treat your wife will determine how family members will value her.
Will value her.
I read something somewhere that if you mistreat your wife, you talk down on her, you don't show respect to your wife. When there's a family meeting or family get together, she will likely be asked to go and wash the intestine of a goat. But if you respect your wife, she will prepare salad.
I don't think that's true. Because no, I don't typically Nigerian families.
People are just using it. Yeah. They're saying that it's a wife that is disrespected, that they will tell to go and wash plate. But the one that is honored, they will tell that one to go and wow. But it is important you respect your wife, even before family members, friends, and everything, because the way you treat her is exactly the same way they will handle her in a family circle. So I always tell young people, no matter how you disagree with your wife, make sure that you don't take any matter to your people that will bring her down before them.
Let's dwell a bit more on this, and maybe we call it third party issue. I mean, if you then go and report to, say, family already, you are bringing in a third party in this equation. Is it entirely impossible for family members to be fair in resolving conflicts between couples? I know this is not the first time. I've heard this before when people say, oh, if you want to even bring in a third party, where it is necessary to bring in one, please do not make it your family member. And you know, like they always say that blood is thicker than water. And then I'm thinking, is it entirely impossible for a family member to be truthful on an issue? If you are wrong, can your family member not tell you that, oh boy, you are wrong?
Yes, 1 in a million. You know why?
1 in a million.
Yes, because when you take such matter to them, they will likely not forgive that woman. Especially if that woman entered into their family not by everybody supporting her. There will be a problem. Do you understand? If some people have reservations about you getting married to her, and eventually an issue comes up, she will not likely get a fair judgment. She will not. And you taking the matter to your family will add salt to injury. To the injury. Yeah. You understand? So that's why it's not always advisable to bring in family members. An outsider is better because nobody knows. You understand? An outsider is better. But when you bring in family members, chances are that they will. You will forgive your wife, but they will not.
When you forget or when you forgive, you move on now.
You move on, but they will not.
They will not, because you might not even have that time to go back and tell them.
They will still hold on to it, and that woman will still be, they will still look at her as a very bad woman, married to their brother or to their son. That's why it is not advisable to take issues to your family members. An outsider is better.
Wow, that's the elderly gentleman's view. Would like to have your own view on Facebook. Adekunle Christiana says, good evening and happy Sunday to you. So thank you so much. Happy Sunday to you too. You can also drop more comment for us on our Facebook page. We will take all of them and, discuss them on the show. You can also send us a message on WhatsApp this evening, 09154 399 893 0915 499 893. Drop a message for us on WhatsApp, and we're just straight to taking your comments and to read them. Let me take this one. Sometimes men don't walk away because they are unloved. They walk away because they feel unvalued. Okay.
Not respected.
Not respected.
Yes.
Not respected. What kind of respect do you think a man deserves? Let's break it down a bit more. Because I know culturally in marriage, the first thing, I might be wrong here, but I'm going to take what starts from the wedding day. The wife will now kneel down. I don't know if that is obtainable in your culture, but I know in Yoruba culture, the wife will kneel down, greet the husband, and then they tell you to spray your wife, or she should take money from your pocket, and all of that. And I'll say the first one that maybe psychologically is already wired into the man's mind from the day you are planting the seed, and that's the wedding ceremony in itself, is your wife should kneel down for you. They tell you, and all of that. And we live in a world where things are changed. It's more collaborative. Rather than I then must listen to you by force, whether you are right or wrong. Because I'm a human being myself, the wife. She's thinking, you are thinking. We should bring issues on the table. But on the wedding day, they are telling you, kneel down. You have to. You have to listen. So what is the respect?
Kneeling down is Yoruba culture. in Igbo culture, the man will sit down and the wife will bring the wine and give the man. He may not kneel down.
Okay, so she doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to. If you do, fine. But if you not, you are not demanded to kneel down. Nobody's asking you to kneel down. But the man must kneel down. And the man must sit down to collect the wine from her. You understand? So that sitting down to collect the wine from the wife while the wife is standing is a sign of respect the wife is giving to the man. You understand? And but kneeling down in Yoruba culture is already a Yoruba culture to kneel down. But to me, kneeling down or standing up is not even what we call, that one is artificial, outward show of respect. That's the outward. But the real respect will come after marriage. Which is you value the man, like we read. You value the man, you value his opinion. Like I said during our program sometime, a man, he came back home. Every time he comes back home, he will see a particular woman with his wife. And he told the wife that he doesn't like the woman. And the woman keep bringing the woman, home. And the man, the thing was already bringing problem between two of them. The man will come back home and see the woman discussing with the wife. He doesn't like the woman. I don't know why. He then came to me and Anan asked, I said, I hope you didn't quarrel with your wife. He said they were almost about to quarrel. And the thing, I said, you don't make that mistake. He said, how? I said, it is your wife that you chase that woman away. He said, how? I said, okay, you have come to me. Let me tell you what to do. When you come back and see that woman, she greets you. Greet her very well. Is she married? He said he doesn't know. I said, okay, greet her very well. And enter your room. Anytime you come back home, you see the woman, greet her. Don't even show any sign that you don't want her around your wife. The day you come and you don't see her, ask your wife, what of this your friend? Your friend didn't come today. He said, no, he didn't come. It's okay. And she will come another day, you see her. Next time you come back and you didn't see her, tell your wife that, this your friend is a powerful dresser. She dresses very well. And the cloth she wore last time was so good on her. And, your wife will take note of what you are saying. If that woman is a sensible woman, you will not bring that. You will not allow that woman to come again. Just
because of that admiration, yeah.
That admiration. Then the man, he said, but can this pursue the woman? I said, your wife will pursue her. Just watch. Go and do this thing. He went and did it. After 3 weeks, I didn't see him. The following month he came. He said the thing worked. That he asked the wife, do you know what the wife said? I don't know why this woman cannot even stay in her house.
How did it come about that?
Ayo, no fight. She pursued the woman by herself because of that comment the husband made. Not knowing that the man made that comment artificially. Yeah. You understand? No woman wants her husband to admire another woman. I said, that's what you say. He went home and said it. And the wife pursued the woman by herself. So when she came and so when the man returned one of those days and said, what of your friend? I don't see her. Hey, let her go and stay in her house. I don't know why she's always has to come in here herself. The woman didn't know it was a plot. It worked. So most of the times everything is not argument. You sit down and use wisdom too. And that's why the good book said you must dwell with them in wisdom.
In wisdom. Let's take this call. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Yes, hello, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Oluwaseun.
All right, Oluwaseun, thank you for calling. Let's have your contribution.
Yes, let's start from the Genesis that defines the husband. Let's start from the good book. It says, wives, submit. So now let's look at submission. Because one thing is, what triggers is what you are in need of, is what you longer for. When you have food, you don't longer for food. But what you don't have, you longer for it. And it's those things that brings out the capacity within you. So I'm saying, wives, submit. God doesn't say wife love. Husband is to love, is to adore. But the instruction of the wife to do is to submit. Submission is a sign of authority. And as like, okay, I'm yielding, I'm giving out my authority to you. When you give us authority, you don't take it back. When you give out authority for something, you don't take it back. It's that when you give your life to God now, you yield to His control, to His instruction, to His authority. When you give it back, you are not part of it.
Okay.
So now, if wife is to give into submission, like when you submit a document, is in exchange for something. But when you don't submit, you can't get that thing you desire for. Now, look at that's why in Yoruba, when they are doing marriage, and when the time comes for a wife to feed the husband,
yeah,
they ask you to kneel down. It's a sign of submission. When a child wakes up and wants to greet elders, you kneel down. That's how Yoruba can represent submission, and as a release of authority. Like I said, husband is the head of the wife, which means where the thinking, the authority comes from the head. Is whatever the head says, the brain says to the hand will do. Whatever the brain says to the leg will do. The moment the brain is malfunctioning, the entire body doesn't get themselves again. If you are not supposed to us, the place of submission is beyond that. He doesn't love me. The duty of the husband is to love. Your own duty is to submit. Release your authority. The moment you have your own authority, and this is what I want to do, this is where I am, you are not submitting. If you are having two drivers in the same boat, and that boat will go nowhere. So the first law is submission.
Thank you so much, Oluwaseun. Thank you so much for your contribution. Elderly gentlemen, it's times are changing, people are changing, technology or modern culture is already getting into our own system, and there seem to be a lot of change. And one of it is on the other side, if you ask men again, they tell you that women don't want to submit again. Okay?
No.
Why do you think that is the case, if you agree?
No, it is not that women don't want to submit. What are they submitting to? You understand? That's why I keep saying that people should marry their friends. Don't marry an enemy. And if
it's possible to marry your enemy.
Yes, some people do.
Or friends may then turn
some
to...
some people do, because when the reason why they are getting married is to get something out of the other partner. Not that they love the person. You are marrying an enemy. You understand? There is something you want to get out of that person. That's why you are in that union. If the person doesn't have that thing, you won't be there. There are a lot of young people like that. You know, there was this case of a young man. He got hooked to a girl. The girl came from a very good background. The father loved the girl so much and everything. And the guy just got hooked to the girl. And the guy will even go to drinking places and be telling her friends, if they are telling him that, why are you still outside by this time? Say, well, I know why I entered into the marriage, just to get what I want. And, and he will keep on messing up around, even while the girl is at home with wealth, everything. So many people do that. Women don't, not that women don't submit. They do submit. They do. But it depends on what a man calls submission. You understand? Because like you said right now that in Yoruba culture, the woman will kneel down. In some other cultures, it may not be the same.
True.
So submission has a lot of interpretation. That a woman, that you say something in a family and the woman is bringing her own point of view does not mean she does not submit to you. But some people will see it that it doesn't submit.
As that, yeah.
That whatever I say is what, no. So submission has a lot of meanings. You want us to spend this money on this, and the woman is saying, okay, can't we spend it in this way? You say he does not submit. When he knows that you are on a wrong course, why will he submit to? Why will he not bring her own opinion? That is it. So it depends. It's relative.
All right, it's still the Table of Men on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. We're gradually getting to, bringing the show to a close. I want us to, yes, when there's a major concern, especially for me, when we see issues like this come up on social media, and sometimes I pay attention to read the comments, and I feel bad when I see some of the comments, as this comment then shape behavior, shape culture, so to say, for a lot of young people. For instance, I remember when I still, anchor Love Connect, when someone had said, "Oh, all men are bad."
It's not true.
And I said, "Oh, really? All men are bad?" Share your experience with me. How many are you married? No. In a relationship? No, not ever been in any relationship with anyone. Your father is a bad person? No. Why is all men? I mean, and the response is, "Oh, we read these things online."
No, it's not true.
And that's why when we see issues like this online, on the table of men, we want to bring it here so that we also talk about it, as we are not living in isolation, that do not happen. How do we now change this mindset of, okay, women do not submit anymore? Some people get into marriage with bad blood in their heart to their partner.
Yeah, because of what they are reading.
Not exactly because of what they are reading. And whether you like it or not, you now begin to see that their actions are tailored towards what they read, not even what the person did to them. Let's begin to,
there's something I want to share
channel conversation to now change.
Ayo, life attracts what we are looking for. In life, what we are looking for is what you will see. I will give you an example. Where you are living right now, you are living there and you are not looking for accommodation. Do you know that there are so many houses to let in that environment? You may not see it because you're not looking for a house.
Not looking for it.
The moment you start looking for a house,
you find
them. If a young man makes up his mind that women are bad, he will attract bad women, he can never get a good lady because that's what you're looking for. But if you make up your mind that, they are good women, you'll be attracted to good women. But if you just walk on the road, if you see a total stranger and smile, what do you think that person will do? He will smile back at you. Life is, you attract what is inside of you, what you are looking for. What you are not looking for, you will not get it. It is exactly what you are looking for that you will get. So if because of what you are reading on the social media, you hear bad stories about breakups here and there, and you make up that your mind that marriage is a worse situation, your own will be a worse situation, because that's what you're expecting. So if you are not expecting, if you believe that there are still good girls out there, you will get them. They will come to you. But when you make up your mind that every woman is a gold digger, don't mind them. They always they don't love any man. It's what they just want to get like one young man was telling me. He said it's like all the girls that he's meeting, they're all broke. He said, I said, what do you mean?
Wow.
He said he met somebody on Monday, and after they talked for some time, the next phone call was that my gas is finished.
Unfortunately, you know that these things really happen.
The man is just telling me. He said, another one again. He said that when he finished talking to the lady, the next week the mother was in the hospital. I said, what actually are you looking for? Because that's exactly what the young man is looking. Is getting those girls that are broke.
Because even his mindset already, you're going to ask me for something. So automatically, the person then asks you for something.
But the person will ask for something. But if you make up your mind to actually, you get. That's why whatever you are looking for in life is what you will get. Honestly speaking, if you go to a community where they say, these people are bad, and you believe that in your head, and you went to that community, you meet a bad person. But you make up your mind that no, there are good people here. I don't believe that they are bad. You'll attract we attract what we are looking for. It's not about spirituality. That's the way life is wired. You attract what you are looking for.
What you are looking for. Thank you so much, elderly gentleman.
Thank you for having me, Ayo.
All right, this is where we draw the curtain on the show today, the Table of Men. It's been a great chat here, and I believe that we've been able to, start something, especially in families where there seem to be a lot of conflict around either respect or love. And one major takeaway for me is that they are both similar. Yes, the Holy Book says something about love and respect as regards the couple. And then we can bring both into each other. I love you, I respect you, you love me, and then you respect me. And also, what works for different people, the love language of different people, that also matters. So it's also very important that we understand the love language of our partner, and then we communicate appropriately. And then we also, meet in the middle. We also meet in the middle. So you are not, the superpower. Yes, you are the man, you are the head of the family. However, it's servant leadership. So even as a leader, you probably carry it where it is heavier. All right. So let's speak, let's communicate, let's understand each other, and let's give each other time to also grow on each other and to also understand. Yoruba people will say, while I know the open door. All right, that's the show for today. I'll see you again next week on another great conversation on the Table of Men. Thank you for listening. God bless you.